Hello everyone, Welsh Witch here. I have decided today to do a video about being an empath. Before I get onto that, do a little bit of catch up. So a week ago today was Samhain or Samhain, Halloween. I hope you all had a wonderful time, that you whether you were just celebrating it as Halloween and dressing up and going to parties, or taking little ones trick-or-treating, or whether you were doing some sort of Samhain ritual. I hope it all went well. I said a prayer myself. I did some affirmations ready for the year ahead, and that was at midnight though, because I went to Usk Usk is a little town, it's just outside of Newport, it's not far. Went with my sister and a lot of her friends, and we went for a curry, and then we went for a walk up this old, scary, spooky train tunnel, which was interesting because I took my scrying crystal with me so that we could try and pick up on any energy or any spirits, and that is exactly what happened. There was a particular spirit that was very talkative. I thought would turn out to be Victorian or something, to do with the train tunnel. Apparently no, it was from the 1300s, but there was an old castle in Usk that was from around the 1300s, so I'm guessing that's the era. But it turned out that it knew someone in the group. It knew my friend Jake and had a connection to him, but and it was great because it pushed him, it pushed me, and it pushed my other friend Lisa as well. It touched up the three of us, and that was really interesting, and I'd love to go back up there and find out more, but I won't go into that. So that is what I got up to, and I hope you all had a lovely time. I've got some cool prospects coming up, but I can't really tell you guys about it just yet, which is annoying because I want to and I want to share, but I can't. It's something that I'm doing with my best friend's sister, and I can't really say anything more than that, but I hope that all goes well and all goes to plan, and basically I just need you guys to send me as much positive energy and thoughts as possible, and hope that I am successful, and then I can share with you what the hell it is I am talking about. And it is very exciting and very cool, and I hope all goes well, because then I can share more with you and not keep any of you in the dark, and then you will know what on earth it is you're sending your positive energy towards. Okay, so now that I've talked about that, let's get on with the video. Being an empath. Okay, so empath comes from the word empathic, and it's pretty straightforward. It's you feel what other people feel. Well, the meaning of the word is straightforward, and it's quite basic, that you feel what other people feel. Very different to sympathy. Some people do get the two mixed up. Sympathy to me is if you feel sorry for someone but you can't relate because you've not been through it, whereas empathy is you may have been through something similar or through the same situation, and therefore you can feel what they feel, and it makes you empathic. So that's the basic gist of that. Being an empath can be tricky because you feel what other people feel all the time. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you've been through everything that everyone has ever been through. That is not what it's about. It's not a case of someone comes up to you with some sort of trauma or tragedy or grief, and you can go, yeah, I've been through that and that. That's not what it is. It's that you may have been through some sort of trouble or grief. I found that a lot of empaths have been through some pretty tough times in their life, and that's usually something to do with them being empathic, and so that that does help the empathic power. But I find that when someone comes up to you and has a problem, if it's something that you haven't been through, you still feel what they feel because of that gift that is inside of you. It allows you to put yourself in their shoes, and you you find yourself wanting to help them any which way you can. I think that's where my power comes from. For different people, being an empath comes from a different place. Mine is my urge to help people. I've always really wanted to help people, and the empaths of society are usually those people in groups that everyone goes to. Everyone goes to them with a problem. They're always the shoulder to cry on. They're sort of strong and sturdy, even though, you know, by nature, through being an empath, they are very emotional and sensitive. That emotion and sensitivity is what makes them strong and dependable, and makes you able to go up to them and trust them and say, oh, you know, I've got this problem and I'm hurt, and you know that come what may, even though they might not have a solution and they may not have been through that problem, they're going to be that good shoulder to cry on. They're going to help you out as best that they can. Now, that makes it sound like all woe and misery, which it's not. Of course it's not. It also has its upside. Now, you know, obviously the cons of it are that if someone is in a really bad mood, you can pick it up. If someone is really sad, you can pick it up. It's kind of like being a sponge, like Peter Petrelli in Heroes. You soak it all up, and this is actually a pretty good analogy, is that if someone, for example, someone is grieving, you can be there for them, you can be strong, you can be the shoulder to cry on, you can soak it up, and it does hurt you because you feel it. That's what it's about, you feeling it, and you think, oh God, this is real tough, but you put that strength through for them, and then when you go home, you go to bed and you can let it out. You can rinse it out like a sponge and let go of the sadness that you're feeling for them. So that's like one of the cons of it. But the pros are that when someone is really happy, you absorb it. You could be obviously personally in a bad place. You may have been going through something bad, or you might just be in a sad or bad mood. But then, you know, and sometimes we like being in a bit of a bad mood. We need to be a bit sad, and we think, no, do you know what? I'm going to be in a bad mood today. Or I feel like I need to be sad. And then someone will bound along. For example, me, it's always my best friend. And he'll end up doing something within about 5 minutes of being in his company that'll just make me laugh. And that's it then. I absorb his happiness. And even if he's not in the best of moods, and we're sort of level pegging, and then I feel what he feels, and then he makes me happy, which in turn makes him happy. So it's, I think he might actually be a bit empathic himself, you know. But yeah, it's good being a sponge, because you can absorb the happiness and the good times as well as the sad and the grief and the sorrow. It's, you know, it's about absorbing all these different emotions at the same time and feeling what other people are feeling. As well, when I was saying about, you know, it's not just a happy feeling you absorb and sad feeling. This is where it can be tricky with things like grief. I use grief because it's such a powerful thing that we go through. You could be personally grieving, and then your family are grieving, and you can feel their pain as well because you're an empath. So you've been hit with your own grief, and then you've been hit with everyone else's grief, and you're like, oh good God, and you do feel like you were just gonna fall apart. And more often than not, the people that do that end up being really, really strong, and they still manage to be the shoulders to cry on and the stalwart, sturdy ones. And that's because you can feel what everyone else is feeling, and even though you're hurting and you know everyone else is hurting, you can also feel that people don't want to be hurting, and that they want to be strong, and that they want someone to lean on, and you kind of sort of pick up the baton, as it were, and say, okay, I can be that person. I can be the one in the group that, or the one in the family that is strong and is going to help everyone else through it. And that can be tough sometimes, because we all need help. Even empaths at the end of the day can go, oh, do you know what, I just want to be helped. I just want to feel better. But then that is when, for example, with me, I go and see my best friend, he makes me happy, I absorb the happiness, I'm back on form again. So there's, that's where the handiness of being a sponge is yes, you absorb all the sad, but then you can absorb all the happiness and help heal yourself. So as well, you're healing and curing other people by being an empath and, by feeling what they're feeling. At the same time, they can cure you depending on what mood you need, so they can feed you, as it were. So it's all good. It's all about balance. So I'm just referring to my notes a sec. Oh yes, now this is a tricky one. Crowds. Crowds can be difficult. Now, obviously, if you feel what other people feel, and you're in a crowd, or you're just in a social situation, you can pick up on things. For example, if someone is sat on the bus and they're crying, before you've even heard them or seen them, you might feel it, and then you turn around and you think, oh, should I go and talk to them? You can usually tell with people, you can pick up the kind of vibe if you can approach them or if they're going to turn around and scream at you. But there is something inside you that just wants to go over and give them a big touch and go, oh, I'm so sorry, are you okay? And, and just help them through it. You can't help it. But then you imagine you're in a crowd situation where lots of different people are thinking lots of different things. It can be tricky. Now, that doesn't mean that anytime I'm in a crowd and I'm around more than 20 people, I go into a complete breakdown. No, it's not about that. It's certain situations. For example, London. Now, living in London can be tricky. I used to live up there, and 80% of Londoners are pretty darn rude. That's no secret. Everyone knows it. And everyone is really angsty in London. Everyone is just in a rush, and I have to go here, I need to go there, so I'm going to smack you out of my way, I'm going to let that door fly in your face, I'm going to shove you off an escalator, I'm going to ram you into the tube. It's all crazy, and then you start absorbing that, and it makes you start getting angry, and you think, don't barge past me, because I'll hit you back. I'm not a Londoner, I'll tell you off for it. Don't let a door slam in my face. Don't you push me into a tube. You try and knock me down an escalator, you're gonna get pushed down yourself, It can be quite tricky, and it can make you really angry, and so that kind of mass crowd situation can be really, too much, and it does make you feel icky. It's horrible, and you just want to get away from there as quick as possible. Contrary wise, when you're in a mass crowd, for example, like this lovely place, Three Wishes Fairy Festival, then you feel fantastic because everyone is in a good mood. Everyone's dressed up as fairies and enjoying music and good food and good company, and you just feel great and lovely, and even if you're not feeling too well, for example, Fairy Fest just gone, the one day I had a really bad headache, had to go and lie down for a bit, but it was no big deal or anything. It was just, you still feel good, and there's always that's the good thing about being in a crowd situation like that, is that it does lift you back up, and there is just a sort of constant a constant feeling of just feeling nice. It's just a lovely, nice feeling. So that can have a real impact on you. But then when you come home from somewhere like Fairy Fest, you get the post-festival blues, and you think, oh, I want to go back. And then being an empath, you're like, I really want to go back. I want to soak up all that lovely goodness of everyone. But of course we can't live like that all the time. This would probably make it less special. So, that's something about being an empath, is that being in crowds, being in an overwhelming situation, and that is the key word there, is overwhelming. And sometimes it can be like that when you're not in a crowd. You can have your days where you think, do you know what, I just don't need to see anyone today. I need to be on my own, because whether or not everyone is in a good mood or not, irregardless, I kind of need to reboot myself. Like when your computer crashes, you're just like, okay, I just need to crash. I'll just sit here, I'm going to watch crap, I'm going to listen to music, I'm going to have a little cry, I'm going to have a bit of a manic laughter moment, and I'm back and I'm alive and kicking and off we go. Another thing to do with feeling what other people feel as well. The closer you are to someone, the stronger you feel it. So, like I mentioned, being on a bus, you can sometimes, feel someone's angst or something. But if the person is a family member or a close friend or a best friend, that can really hit you there, that punch in the stomach. It's that part of the chakra, it's your solar plexus. And this is the thing as well, is that with being an empath, there are a few chakras it draws from. You've got your solar plexus because it, as people say, going with your gut feeling, and it does punch you there and you think, oh God, I know they're not okay and I really don't like this and I want to help them out, I have to do something. And then you've got your heart chakra, of course, is all to do with love. Then you've got your throat. You have to be communicative to be able to be an empath, and you have to sometimes filter what you say. You have to be careful. I know sometimes I can be a bit blunt, and then I get, oh, well, I should probably kind of backtrack a bit here and retailor what I was going to say. And then, of course, there's your third eye, because a lot of empathic power is intuitive as well. For example, say your best friend texts you, or your sister texts you, or whoever you're closest to texts you, and you just say, oh, are you alright? And they say, I'm okay. Now, you can instantly tell whether that is a, yeah, I'm okay, I'm good, or if it's just a, yeah, I'm okay. And then you can instantly say, what's wrong? And, and they're off and they'll tell you what's wrong with them. And that's that intuitive side of it. That's just where you just know. And also you can preempt it. I mean, when I talk about moods, people being in a good mood and you absorbing it, people being sad and you absorbing it, that's not just that particular day. A sort of general atmospheric mood that can last a few weeks. If someone is in a good period of time and they're happy for a few weeks and stuff, you can kind of preempt when they're going to dip. Likewise, if they're sad, you can kind of preempt when they're going to go back up again. And that is handy, because that means you know where they're going to be, you know how things are going to go, and you're like, right, I feel something coming here. I'll keep going with the good mood, or I'll keep going with the sad mood, but I'm ready. I'm ready for when the change happens. And it is usually like that, and then, as it is with every human being, and that's, as I said, where it can be handy then, because then you're ready to be the shoulder to cry on, and or you're ready to be the other part of the comedy duo. If they're gonna go up, if they're gonna go down, they feel themselves falling, and what they haven't noticed is you saw them falling before they noticed, and you kind of threw yourself under them, so they fall, and then they go, oh, you caught me. Oh, I didn't even see that happen. And you're just like, yeah, it's fine, come on, let it out, let it go. And then you go home and you rinse it out, and then you're fine again. So I think that's probably the whole being an empath in a nutshell. It is all about feeling what other people feel, and it can be difficult and it can be tricky, but it is a gift. There are some empaths who don't like being an empath, and they will cut that power off. I almost smacked myself in the face then. They will just cut that power off, and they will not get in tune with it at all. They'll let it go, and it eats them up inside, and it just does horrible things to people. There are some empaths who would probably disagree about what the different meanings of it are. There are some empaths who are not as strong as others, like every gift. For example, tarot reading. Now, I'm okay. I'm a good tarot reader in that I have never been inaccurate. I've always been spot on with my readings, but it doesn't come as naturally to me as others. For example, my best friend's sister, she is, personally in my opinion, she is the most talented tarot reader that I know. She is amazing. She tends to use a few different decks. She actually did a tarot reading for me recently, which was amazing. But I won't go into that. I'll end up going off on a tangent. But she is fantastic. It really comes to her naturally. My best friend is very intuitive. He is, I mean, this is why I think he might be an empath as well, is because he is very switched on, and he has little visions every now and then, and he can preempt stuff and doesn't give himself anywhere near enough credit for that at all. And you have people who can scry. Now I can scry, I can get the thing moving. Some people can't get any movement, others can get that thing going like crazy, you know. Then you've got empaths. Some empaths might, for example, be able just to pick up on a little feeling, may get a bit overwhelmed in crowds, might not really pick up stuff when I'm talking about texting. They might not really get it in that sense. But then you have other people like me who are more in touch with that empathic gift. That's probably my strongest gift, I say, is the fact that I'm an empath, and I know that I am a strong empath too, because I pick up on a lot of pretty much everyone. And I've been that person as well, that when someone meets me, they'll start talking to me, and within about an hour they've told me half their life, they've told me secrets, and they'll stop themselves and go, why am I telling you this? I've just met you. Those words, I have heard those words more times than I can count. Nearly everyone that I meet new, that I know I'm going to be seeing regularly, they will start talking to me, and they'll just, off they go, and they'll start telling me stuff, and they will just stop dead and go, why did I just tell you that? I'm so sorry, I don't even know you. And I find it quite amusing, because I'm like, oh, it's happening again, off they go. And it's like, it's almost like I've got invisible writing on my head saying, I'm an empath, open up. But that's fine, I like that. And I'm not the type of person that'll go and tell everyone what someone said. If someone says something to me in confidence, then it's in confidence. And I think that's because they pick up from me the empathic ability. You do tend to radiate it without even realising, and there's something, I suppose, comfortable that makes them open up to you. And yeah, it's interesting. So, like I said, I'm a stronger empath than some. There are stronger scryers than some. There are stronger tarot readers than some. There are different levels of being an empath, but that is pretty much what being an empath entails. It's all about feeling what other people feel. Yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed that. As I said, I hope you all had a lovely Samhain last week, and for my UK followers, I hope that you all enjoyed Bonfire Night. I had to work, so didn't really get to enjoy it much. But yeah, I hope you've all had a lovely week, and hope you're all starting to plan up for Yule or Christmas now. I'm not sure when my next video will be or what it will be on, but I will keep you updated. I hope you all enjoyed my favourite movie witches countdown. Yeah, I just hope you've all had a lovely time. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there are some exciting prospects coming. I do have some things I want to share with you, but I can't just yet until I find out. Just send me lots of positive energy and thoughts, and hope that I am successful, because then I can share with you what it is I am babbling on about. Just know that exciting times are coming. Yes, the card said so. It was on the cards, and it was by my best friend's sister, who I said, in my opinion, is the most talented reader that I know. So fingers crossed. No pressure on her or anything. But yeah, keep sending me all the good stuff, and then I can share with you. If you would like to discuss the video with me at all, pop some comments down below, or if this is on Facebook, also pop comments down below. I'll put a link to my Facebook page in the drop down box in case you're only watching this on YouTube. Also, if you would like to talk about it but you don't really want to comment, and you don't want to be in an open discussion, feel free to go onto my Facebook page and private message me. I'm more than happy to talk to people. if you want to private message me about something else, not necessarily the video or or being an empath, feel free to do so. I am more than happy to talk to people, but apparently not more than happy to talk at the moment because my voice appears to be going. Excuse me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Positive energy and blessings. Bye.